Because Thomas
John 20.
Yeah.
John 20 worshipped him as Yahweh.
Does it say that worship as Yahweh? Where? Does it say that?
The word is kurios, which is used in the Septuagint. It's the same word as Lord, which is used for Yahweh.
But this word Lord is used for Abraham as well.
That word in the Septuagint, kurios, is used for Yahweh.
May I read it? In fact, I have it here, John 20. Jesus came and stood among them, peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here in my side, reach out your hand and put it in my side, stop doubting and believe. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God.
Amen.
Then Jesus told him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen me and yet have believed. Jesus did not rebuke him.
Yes.
As Paul rebuked people when they
No.
He just chided him for not believing earlier.
Right. What is your name, by the way, my son?
Peter Hammond.
Peter. Peter. Now, when you leave this place, you go to the special branch, for example, and you tell them, he says, you know, this Deedat fellow, right in the center of the town, he's running a communist den. You know? Right?
We don't believe that, of course.
No, let's say you go and did such a dastardly thing. For what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to share with you my thoughts, you see, and my hospitality, whatever it is there. But now you go along and report us. So these guys are, you know, there's a communist conspiracy going on from here, and they're going to upset the government, all that kind of thing.
It seems to be a deviation from the point.
No, I'm coming to the point.
I see.
So they come along, they search my offices and go through. Say, what's wrong with you, man? So many years we are doing this job, you know, you never did this before. So you had these guys from North Coast. I say, yeah. He said, there was that Peter Hammond, you know, the leader of the group. I said, yeah. He said, he came and told us, man. I said, yes. Terrible. Now, next time you come along with a big, broad, smiling face with the Cheshire cat smile, you know. Mr. Deedat. I says, Peter, my God, what a damn thing, you know, you did. You know? Peter, my God. Peter, my God. You know, what a bloody hypocrite you are, showing me such nice, smiling, broad face, and you like that. So Lazarus, you see, the first meeting, the first time that Jesus comes to that upper room, Lazarus was not there. The first meeting, the first time he came, he wasn't there. Thomas wasn't there. I'm sorry, Thomas wasn't there. So, after Jesus has departed, the other disciples must have met Thomas and said, man, the master was here with us. He was here with us. And you know, he had broiled fish and honeycomb with us. He's the same Jesus, man. We felt him. Because he said, behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Say, handle me and see, for a spirit has no flesh and bones, as you see me have. And we felt him, and we believed not for joy, and wondered, man, what happened? And he said, have you here any meat, something to eat? And we gave him a piece of broiled fish and a honeycomb, and he took it, and he ate. Thomas says, no, I can't believe all these fairy tales. See, except I put my finger into the print of the nails and put my hand into his side to feel the wound. I will not believe. What will you not believe? That is the same Jesus. If they had told him we saw seen a ghost of Jesus, he would have believed. But they said, no, it's not a ghost, man, it's the same Jesus. You know, flesh and blood, eating broiled fish and honeycomb. So to verify that, he said, I must do this, put my finger into the print of the nails and put my hand into his side, and otherwise I will not believe. 8 days later, 8 days after this. In the meantime, the other disciple must have just met Jesus, you know, your friend Thomas. That guy, he wants to do this, and he wants to do that, to verify. So 8 days later, Jesus comes in, again in that upper room, and he finds Thomas, and says, Thomas, come on, put your finger and see, put your hand into my side, and don't be faithless. The guy says, what a bloody fool I was, man. All the 10 disciples are testifying that he was here. He's alive. He ate broiled fish and honeycomb. And I said, I must do this and I must do that. He said, my God, my Lord, what a disgust.
We hear what you're saying, but I'm sorry. Could I just ask? I feel we may have got off our point. We, of course, came here today to hear about Islam. And what we're hearing about is Christianity.
You, my brothers and sisters, you gave me no chance.
I'm sorry. But do you recall...
You didn't even give me a chance for a glass of water.
But Mr. Deedat, we do want to hear more about Islam. And we did ask questions such as... the issue of persecution of Christians by Muslims. We did ask, I think the most important issue we asked, if I could have confirmation, was that how are we to know that the revelation given to Muhammad was not one of those revelations we are warned about as being from false prophets, angels, Satan in the guise of an angel of light? How are we to know what confirmation, how are we to know that the revelation of the Quran is fully consistent with the revelation given through Jesus and Moses, consistent with the Bible, and that this is something that we can believe?
We say consistent with God's word.
Yes.
Whatever God had inspired through the prophets,
Yes.
that this is a continuation of that.
This is what
This is
we're
a continuation of that.
So, if you don't mind, is this right? We should go back to this. I think this is what you're interested in.
You see, we Muslims say that Muhammad is the fulfillment of the teachings of Moses and Jesus. It's the same religion. To me, what you call Judaism and what you call Christianity and what we call Islam, we say that these are not three different religions. Mm-hmm. We say it is the same religion on different levels. It's the one religion on different levels, like the teaching given through Moses. In the Sinai desert, they had just come out of the Egyptian bondage, and God wanted to give them a law that would give them quick justice, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. There was no time for lengthy litigations or putting a man in prison. An antisocial character, an adulterer, stone him to death. Get rid of the guy and move on. There's work to be done. There's no sense in leaving the man in the desert to die of hunger and thirst. It was more merciful to kill him, and he will also become an object lesson for others. So that was the philosophy behind the law that was given to Moses. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Beautiful law. A Jesus or a Muhammad could not have done anything better in the desert for the Jews. If instead of the word Moses, Jesus was there, he would have given the same law. Instead of Jesus or Moses, Muhammad was there, he would have given the same law. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. No difference.
The law was not summed up in those words. It was, thou shalt have no other gods before me, not to make idols, on the Sabbath.
All except. But I said, if Jesus or Muhammad couldn't have done anything better.
It was God's law.
God's law for the needs of the people of the time.
We think
this was perfect. This was a perfect teaching for the needs. Mm-hmm. But laws have a tendency to change the characters of people over a period of time. Like we are living in this color-conscious country, or Hitlerite Germany, one of the most cultured nations in Europe. They incinerated 6 million Jews, so it is said, 6 million Jews. I said, can a nation like that, the land of Goethe and Beethoven, and this cultured nation among the Europeans, do such a thing like that? Impossible. I says, no, through brainwashing, it's possible. You brainwash a nation over a period, so these are parasites, these are Jews, these are Christ killers. Shh. The people have worked and say, well, even if you feel it's wrong, we say, well, they deserve it, man.
You mean like Saddam Hussein and the Kurds and the Shiites?
Right. Same. You can be programmed. In South Africa, for 300 years, we had apartheid, racism.
Not in Natal we didn't. Not in Natal we didn't.
How? I said, look, I suffered it here. For 60 years I'm suffering this apartheid of yours.
I don't think you've suffered so badly.
That's not for you to judge. You have no right to say how I feel. There's one little pinprick how I felt, you have no right to judge. You have no right to say, let's...
But I've been in prison, have you?
What?
I've spent time in prison, have you?
I said, you have no right to judge how I feel. So, this color-conscious country of ours, I have had occasion of inviting dozens of whites, learned people, businessmen to my home for chat and food. Whatever I have, I offer. And they all enjoy my food. My food. Our food is the Muslim what we cook. The white man enjoys it, the colored enjoys it, the African enjoys it, everybody hogs it. They love our food. See? And they profuse in their thanks. When they go, they enjoy the chat and they enjoy the food. But no white man has ever invited me to his home in 40 years for a cup of tea. Yet, no white man has. But they meet me in the street subsequently, and they say, Mr. Deedat, how's the missus? She is fine. Convey my regards to her, all that they do. But no white man has invited me to his house for a cup of tea.
Is this something to do with race or something to do with religion?
That's what I'm saying.
Is this religion or is it
race?
I doubt it.
Let me give you my experience. And if you want to say, look, you're a liar, it's okay. You have a right to say that. So I said, no white man has. So I want to know why. So I meet, talk to you like friend to friend. I said, look, don't you people know such a thing as reciprocation? I said, yes. Don't you reciprocate among yourselves? I said, yes. Then how is it that you don't reciprocate to me? Maybe you never thought of it. No. What happens is this, that the white man, he's programmed in this color-conscious country. Everything is color, color, color. So now he invites me to Durban North, his elite home in Durban North. And I go there one Sunday morning with my family. And my wife, of course, she wears our own attire, and I have got this funny headgear and this beard of mine. I go along, walking down the streets, looking for number 10 Downing Street, and I found it. And there are people walking in the garden. They say, what this bloody coolie doing around here? You know, in this elite Durban North area. The back of this bloody coolie doing around here, with his gang of, this Oriental woman. Right, I go knock at the door, and Mrs. Smith, she opens the door with a smiling face. She opens the door, and she welcomes me in. Right. But now, tongues begin to wag. He said, look, half an hour, 15 minutes gone, and these coolies have gone into the house. What are they doing? What are these the Smith people? What are they running? Has she been or what? So at the back of the mind, the white man is terrified about his environment.
But Mr. Deedat, are you not an unusual individual? You have a particular mission in life.
In that case, if you are a hypocrite, you enjoyed my food, you say.
You have not seen me and yet have believed. Jesus did not rebuke him.
Yes.
Paul rebuked people when I tried He just chided him for not believing earlier.
Right. What is your name, by the way, my son?
Peter Hammond.
Peter Hammond. Peter, now, when you leave this place, you go to the special branch, for example, and you tell them, he says, this Deedat fellow, right in the center of the town, he's running a communist den.
Because Thomas
John 20. Yeah. John 20 worshipped him as Yahweh.
Does it say that worship him as Yahweh? Where? Does it say that?
The word is kurios, which is used in the Septuagint. It's the same word as Lord, which is used for Yahweh.
But this word Lord is used for Abraham as well.
That word in the Septuagint, kurios, is used for Yahweh.
May I read it? In fact, I have it here, John 20. Jesus came and stood among them, peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here in my side, reach out your hand and put in my side, stop doubting and believe. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God. Amen. Then Jesus told him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those